Hey, what is up YouTube? thyAshes here, bringing you another video, and today, as you can tell, we're going to be doing the power rankings and 2K review that we do weekly. This one obviously is a little bit delayed, and that is because the 2K tournament did not actually finish until, I'm doing that a lot lately. It did not actually finish until Wednesday, as in last night during the fight night where we watched Echo Fox face off against Scuf Gaming. So we're going to go into this bracket, talk about some of the matches. Again, I'm doing this off the top of my head. I don't take notes beforehand because I don't believe in being prepared, XD. So yeah, Scuf Gaming, they had a pretty straightforward, they had #1 seed because they won. So they had a pretty straightforward pathway up to at least the semifinals, where they faced off against Fire and Ice. Now, I don't know who Trencher City is. Let me just double check to make sure. That's Godfection and Domes' team, and I don't believe that was too close, but I don't know. I didn't see that match. Echo Fox beat Red Reserve. Not much surprise in their side of the bracket either. United, again, didn't play anyone really too intense. They beat this team that is now actually a different team. This team is now actually Rezik, Crash, Jerpy, Shock, who was subbing for us at the time, and Franco. So different roster there. It's basically 2 fists of old Echo Fox and 3 fists of old Allegiance. We also didn't play anybody too big name. We played Hez's team with Firearm Bird. That was more like a pickup team, Franco. But mostly what you would expect to be the top 8 teams were the top 8 teams. We faced off against United in the round 5, so this was for top 4, and we beat them pretty convincingly, 2-0, pretty cleanly. That put us in line to play Echo Fox, who had just come off a 2-0 win, I think, against Red Reserve. I didn't get to watch that match. Fire and Ice took out Aspire. That's the team that we've been kind of keeping our eye on, with Razil Sneak in them. So they're, again, top 8, but not quite where we thought they'd be. Trenches City, we already looked at. That's Domes, Flamsy, Godfections, Kraz, and Pell, which actually not a bad team on paper. So Scuf Gaming for top 4 or top 2 versus Fire and Ice. This was another intense matchup. I don't know if it's Fire and Ice has Scuf Gaming's number or if they're just the counter to it, but Fire and Ice couldn't close, and that again was their problem. I think they took like a 6-4 lead against Ghost on the second map. And the first map was also really close. I think both maps went 6-6 tiebreaker round. So Fire and Ice has like the right stuff to take down Scuf Gaming. They just can't close out the rounds that they need to in order to actually get those wins. And props to Scuf Gaming for being able to come back from those deficits and staying composed. They definitely have the clutch factor there. Us versus Echo Fox. Obviously, this was a this one hurt a little bit. This one stung a little bit. So the first map was actually, let's see. First map, I know we played Forge Blitz. I think first map was Forge Blitz, and they beat us pretty convincingly. And then second map, I want to say was Reclaimed. But I could be, no, we banned Reclaimed. So second map, I don't remember what second map was, but Dam. The second map was Dam. We beat them pretty convincingly. And then third map was Harbor, which for those of you who don't know, Harbor has been our auto ban since Icy joined the team, and we decided this last week to start practicing and getting good at it again. And we were doing pretty well in the scrims, so we let it slide, we let it go through, and Echo Fox was pretty notoriously good at that map. So the map kind of went in their favor, but we had a 6-4 lead that we choked. And there's a lot of reasons why we choked. Now, I will say for disclaimer, one of our players, Summons, is actually playing on a broken Scuf this entire 2K. And there was a lot of times on... actually, no, we played Foundation against Echo Fox, I believe. So maybe I'm talking on my ass, but there's a lot of times where he could not move, and it cost us, positioning and control and whatnot. So either way, Echo Fox came out on top. They managed to come back from that 6-4 deficit on Harbor and beat us and knock us out. Again, same placement, same way as last time in the semifinals, which puts them up against Scuf Gaming in the grand finals. This is the matchup we saw on Wednesday. Now, on Wednesday, or yesterday, they played First map was Reclaimed, I believe. Second map was Forge Blitz, and tiebreaker was Foundation. So Ghost probably picked Reclaimed, which is an interesting pick. Which means Echo Fox, because Ghost had #1 seed, I'm assuming. So that means Echo Fox probably picked Forge. I could be wrong. I probably have that backwards. I don't remember. But either way, those were the 3 maps. And it got interesting, right? And the reason it got interesting is because Reclaimed kind of went back and forth a little bit. And I believe that was the map that Ghost, it was back and forth a little bit at the beginning, and Echo Fox looked like they were going to come out strong. Then Ghost responded with their own round, so it was 1-1, and then Echo Fox responded with another round, and then so on and so forth. But it kind of got out of hand, and Ghost ended up pretty much dominating that map. And you could tell Echo Fox has this tendency to do like weird little tilt pushes like their players do whenever they start losing, and you could tell they were starting to do that. So it looked bad, because if Echo Fox starts doing that, their composure is starting to go downhill. Now, when it got to the next map, Forge Blitz, I thought they were done. They were down by, if it was like 6-4 or 6-3 or something like that, and they did that same thing where they came back and somehow won 7-6, I believe, if I'm remembering this correctly. But either way, I know the score was 7-6 that Echo Fox won map 2 Forge Blitz. And honestly, there was a lot of mistakes by both teams throughout that map, and it almost looked kind of sloppy, like just teams throwing like random plays out there and doing kind of weird, unorganized things. Like it was kind of a hectic map to watch. And then we got to Foundation, and Foundation was really back and forth. Foundation, Ghost ended up winning 7-5, but I will say that there was a few rounds that were really questionable decisions from Echo Fox, right? So a boom shot got put down during second half, I believe, on the B hill, which in second half is no longer a hill. And Echo Fox had a round where they got boom shot, or like they wiped all of Ghost and picked up boom shot afterwards. So they still had 2 booms. Toy had 2 booms, and they had 3 people alive, which it was round 11, I believe. That's enough to 3-cap. Round 11, you're looking at, let's see, round 7 is, you're looking at what, 18-second respawns? Yeah, 18-second respawns. So you got long respawns, you have a power weapon, a boom shot, the strongest power weapon, and you have 3 people alive. Sorry. So that means 1 person goes to each hill, boom shot goes to the enemy home hill, boom shot holds off the people pushing the enemy home hill because he has boom shot. Pretty simple 3-cap. Except Echo Fox decided to send 1 person to E, 2 people to the enemy home hill, and nobody to their home. They were going to let somebody off spawn pick up the home hill. And that's where it went sour. Toy somehow missed both booms in the chaos. The other person got chunked. I don't know who it was. And Ghost, I believe, ended up getting that round, putting them up 6-5, and then they closed out the very last round. So Echo Fox looked good, and then they looked bad, and then they looked okay, and then it looked bad again. So I'm not sure what's going on over there in the Echo Fox boot camp. They still knocked us out, so I can't say too much. Ghost Gaming were your champions for this week's 2K. That gives them back-to-back 2-time champions. So congratulations to them, obviously, even though I'm a little bit bitter. So without further ado, let's go ahead and move into this week's power rankings. As soon as I figure out where my pen tool has hidden itself. Here it is. So let's see. We're going to do them over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, we're going to do only the top 8, and we're only doing North America. Though I did get to watch the Latin American finals of Ronin versus World's Best. And Ronin clearly outclassed World's Best, but it was still entertaining. Okay, so number 1. Now, this is going to be tough, because what I've been trying to do on these videos, and as you saw last week, if you didn't watch last week's video, I put Echo Fox above us. I swallowed the pride. I put another team ahead of my own team, even though I still kind of believe it based off the results that I'd seen, and that was that. However, for those of you who are living under rocks, Icy will be unbanned on the 16th, which means our team is not doing anything but scrimming with Icy and then using a sub for the 2K tournaments up until the 16th, which means starting October 22nd, Icy will be playing in his first tournament, and then he won't be allowed to play at the local event, but he'll be at the first major tournament. So Icy's back, basically, which means the 3 LAN event in a row, 11 2K in a row squad is back together. And Icy is definitely an influential part of that. He's a big reason why that was a thing. And you have to keep in mind that there hasn't been a tournament loss with Icy on the team, which is pretty crazy to think about. So that's kind of where I'm torn on this one, because if we're going by current power rankings as of right now, I'm putting us back on top because of that. Even though we haven't started scrimming and Icy's been out of the game for a while, I do know that there was one day where he came and filled in for scrims when Shock was going to be late. We played 2 top teams, I think Echo Fox and Ghost, and he played out of his mind, and we played really well as a team, and it was pretty clean wins in those scrims. But that was like a month ago. So the other side of that is, like, yes, undefeated with Icy. The other side of that is, do I count that into the power rankings based off last week? Because if we're going based off last week, it's still Shock on the team, so we're still a lower rank. But I think because this video is coming out a little bit late, what I need to do is go based off what is happening right now rather than last week. If it was based off last week with Shock still on the roster and we didn't know Icy was coming back, I would have to say that both Echo Fox and Ghost are looking better than us. That would put us as the number 3 team. And I would probably put Ghost at number 1. But because Icy is back, and I'm sure I'm going to get hate for this, but you can't argue with the results, I'm going to put us back on top. And this is just my confidence in not only Icy and his ability to come back and be as strong as he was, but also I know his drive, I know his hunger, I know how excited and eager the team is to play with Icy again. And I know that when he did fill in, we did really well against both of the top teams who I would have put above us before. So I'm putting us back on top. That being said, the big change is going to be I'm giving Ghost the number 2 spot. And the reason for this is now they're showing that they have consistency with their ability to place well. And they're showing consistency as a team and able to be in being able to dominate these 2Ks the way they have been. So I got to give Ghost the number 2 spot. Number 3, I'm going to give to Echo Fox because, you know, they did look a little bit weak, and I have to put them below Ghost. You know, our change is going to affect our position with Icy coming back, but those two still need to be the same. I still think Ghost right now is better than Echo Fox. I think that Echo Fox loses composure very easily right now, whereas Ghost stays focused like they need to, and that's showing, right? That's showing the 2 consecutive 2K results. So I have to give it to them. And 4th place. This is where it gets interesting for me a little bit because we're looking at teams like Red Reserve, United. You've got Domes' team. You've got Aspire still up there, Fire and Ice. So who do I give it to in that regard? Well, Fire and Ice placed top 4. And they had to beat Aspire. The question is, would Fire and Ice have beaten either United or Red Reserve? And honestly, the way I've seen Red Reserve playing lately, and I was actually talking about this to Red Reserve before, I think that Red Reserve right now is in an inconsistent spot, and I think I have to give it to Fire and Ice. I think I have to give that 4th spot to Fire and Ice. I have not seen the United that I'm expecting, either in scrims or in the 2Ks. And I'm seeing an impressive Fire and Ice in 2Ks. So I'm going to get... Oh, my Lord. That was not... that was not the size. FNI, Fire and Ice for 4th. Followed by United. I think United's still a stronger team than Red Reserve right now. Like I said, Red Reserve is kind of in an inconsistent spot. So I'm going to give this to Red. And then we're looking at 2 more slots. You've still got teams like Aspire. You've got whoever this team was. I think this was the pickup team, right? Oh, wait, no. I clicked the wrong one somehow. This one. So you've got the team with Jerpy in them, which actually, that's another question. Do I count the team that's Shock's team, or do I ignore that team for now since they're not official as of this 2K? I think I have to count Shock's team. So I'm going to give Shock's team his new team, which for those of you who don't know, it is Shock, Rezik, Crash, Franco, and Jerpy. So like I said, 3/5 of old Allegiance, 2/5 of old Echo Fox. I'm going to give it to Shock's team. I don't know what they're called, but I'm just going to call them Shock's team. And honestly, on paper, that team can be better than Red Reserve. So I definitely could see them moving up, but I haven't seen them play at all. I just know on paper that team is probably better than most of these other teams. And then I think the last one, I wasn't impressed. I watched a little bit of Aspire's matches. I wasn't impressed. So I think I'm gonna have to give it to Domes' team, wherever they are, which is, if that's a real team. Yeah, Domes, Flamsy, Godfections, Kraz, and Pell. Because honestly, they did put up a little bit of a fight against Ghost Gaming. And I believe that was actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I believe that was actually a really close match and almost an upset. I think that was this week. So I'm going to give number 8 spot to Domes' team. Because if that team sticks together, they definitely have the potential to cause some upsets, especially against Ghost, who... I don't know what it is with Ghost. They play better against the top teams than they do against the non-top teams. But either way, this is going to be my power rankings for going into, well, I guess it's not really going into the next 2K because Icy can't play for the next 2K. But just kind of where the teams stand right now, I've got us at number 1 because Icy is back. Ghost at number 2 because they're proving themselves. Echo Fox looking a little shaky. They're number 3. Fire and Ice impressing people. They just need to learn how to close. They've also got some weird roster stuff going on where they like dropped somebody for like 4 hours and then re-picked them back up. The org announced the dropping on Twitter and then the re-picking up. It was weird. I don't know why anyone's surprised, but United, I'm waiting for them to show their potential. Like I said, United has a great roster. Zerpting, Lava, Dispensa, Wildebeest, Soto, like that on paper is a top 4, top 3 roster, and they're not finding their groove. They're kind of finding the same thing that we were struggling with Shock. They're just not really finding their groove in synergy yet. Red Reserve kind of in a shaky spot right now. I think they definitely have potential as well. Shock's team, ton of potential. I'm excited to see how they do. And then Domes' team, if that team is sticking together and it wasn't just a pickup team, I think that team has potential, especially now that I'm remembering. Hopefully I'm remembering correctly. This is the problem with doing these videos so late. I could see them causing some upsets. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed. I'm glad. It seems like you guys are enjoying this series, so I plan to do it every week for the entire season. Let me know in the comments down below what your top 8 teams are in North America, and make sure you hit the subscribe button, guys. As always, I appreciate your support, and I will see you all in the next video.